In making movies, preparation is everything. In fact, I teach what I call the 9 Ps. Proper pre-production planning prevents piss-poor post-production. So, in preparation of receiving this honor, and indeed in writing this speech, I turned for a little advice from the internet. On writeoutloud.com, I learned, I quote, "Acceptance speeches do not have to be a long list of thank you, punctuated by sobs or silence. Nor do they need to be so flippant or brief that they minimize the people honoring you." Good advice, I thought, so I read on. One needs to find a balance, blending gracious humility with sincere acknowledgement and perhaps a little humor. I thought, I'm so screwed. But here I am. So why am I here? Well, I can say with some authority that I would not be here if not for my time sucking up knowledge at CSUN, or now CSUN. I'm sure there were some raucous cast parties during that time, but that too, for me, was a learning experience. I remember what I loved then, and still love today, is the inclusiveness and the diversity of CSUN. I didn't know anyone living off their trust fund, and most of my fellow students then and now were eager, excited kids working extra jobs in order to get an amazing education. The greatest thing I took away from the dedicated and enthusiastic professors at CSUN was really how to learn and a passion for learning itself. CSUN inspired in me a true desire for excellence. Years later, I was in New York, and I was directing an episode of a television show called The Equalizer. And as I often do to give back, I had a young film student local to New York following me around on the set. And we came to a scene where I had to shoot it out on a very long pier that stretched about 3 football fields long out into the Hudson River. And as we arrived, I hadn't been able to scout it before. They opened up the gates, and we start walking out down this long, long pier. So I start looking for where I'm gonna film this scene. I look behind me and I see the crew lifting all the heavy equipment, lugging this stuff out. And I felt, oh God, I feel badly they have to carry all this stuff out here. So I got to the first place, the closest place in, where I thought it was good enough. And I said, guys, put the equipment down here. We'll shoot it right here. And with relief on their faces, they started putting the equipment down and looking, to set it up. Meanwhile, this student kept on going out the pier. A couple minutes later, I hear, "Hey, Don, you ought to see it out here. It's really cool." I gotta tell you, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I mean, in one fell swoop, I realized I was finding myself in a place that I was settling for good enough. Until this student innocently showed me yet again what I had learned years ago at CSUN, that we must never stop learning and we must never stop striving for excellence. Guys, pick it all up. And we moved it out to what was truly a tremendous looking scene in the movie, only because we went to the end of the pier. And still to this day, I tell that story to the students every semester, that in everything you do in life, you gotta go to the end of the pier. You gotta go for excellence. You gotta take it to the limit. But I digress. Back to the advice from writeoutloud.com. Allow me, with gracious humility, to sincerely acknowledge California State University Northridge and everyone here tonight for honoring me with your presence and this wonderful accolade of the CSUN Distinguished Alumni Award. In specific, I get to be the first here tonight to thank our outstanding president, Diane Harrison, Vice President Rob Gonzalez, Alumni Association President Francine Ocean, and the Dean of the Mike Curb College, Jay Cavapil. I hope I got that right. Close. Also, my partners in crime, Professors Gary Lennon and of the theater department, Nate Thomas of the cinema department, for their patient guidance and support. I'd also like to congratulate my fellow honorees, Judy Baca and Paul Jennings. Congratulations. I have to thank my darling wife, Peggy, and my great kids, Emily and Charlie, because, well, I have to go home later. And finally, I'd like to thank all of you here tonight for your giving back. Union Bank, Northern Trust, for everything everyone here does to support CSUN and the students in their 3 Ps, their perseverance, their passion, and their pursuit of excellence. Thank you.